It's that time of year again. When we migrate north, along the Sea to Sky Highway, through Squamish, and into Whistler. We've made this journey to ride Whistler Bike Park on opening day. It is Whismas after all. But like last year, things are still a little weird. Though opening day was only about a week late this year, we're still wearing our masks in the lift line. That and all the YouTubers are missing. Either they can't get into the country, or they've been affected by travel restrictions within Canada. But Yuka and I won't be riding alone. Nick from the channel VanCan will be joining us. But while both Yuka and Nick got to ride the park last fall, this will be my first time riding the park since opening day last year. I had a bit of an accident last summer that put an end to all that.
You okay?
On top of that, the last times I rode park were fraught with incidents. Last year I wanted to hit this massive step up on Dwayne Johnson.
You? Sick!
And the year before, this step up on Fade to Black.
That was stupid.
There definitely was a trend here. I was not doing well on step ups. But now I have a chance to right these wrongs. And my plan for the day was to conquer some of these white whales. And as normal, we started the day with a few warm-up laps. But soon, it was time to get down to business. It was time to hit that Fade to Black step up. But before that step up was a pretty sizable drop. And though I was pretty sure I was fine on it, I was still a little worried.
Alright, let's go check out the drop, I guess.
Yeah, you gonna just go or you gonna look?
Do you want to roll the drop or stop at the top? I'm no for either.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea to look or not, but
Do you, Eric? But just do the drop, then stop at the bottom and come back up.
you're making me think too much now.
We'll do the drop. We're doing it.
Okay.
With the drop cleared with confidence, things were looking good for the step up. But Yuka hadn't done the drop yet, and she was keen to give it a try.
Yes. I'm ready.
And as it turned out, there were a lot of kids working on the drop as well.
How old are you?
I'm 12. He's 10.
Wow. That's awesome. You guys are killing it.
Yeah, I hit this like 3 years ago.
3 years ago. So you were 9 when you hit it.
In fact, it's pretty wild what kids can do on their bikes these days. Not wanting to push up the trail again, I gave Yuka a fateful suggestion.
Yuka, follow him!
How's the drop? Pretty easy if you just go straight. Straight? Okay. Maybe I might follow you. Is that okay? Yeah. Not right after. I'm gonna give you some space. Yeah, this is my only second time hitting it. Oh, okay, yeah. No pressure. That's fine. I only hit it once today. Yeah? Cool. Mason, you ready? Drop. Nice starting.
Oh, case. Oh!
Yuka made me promise not to show her a little incident. You'll have to subscribe to her channel, Vangirl Yuka, to see what became of her. As for that step up, well, they certainly have been my kryptonite in the past. But since then, I've gotten more experience on these type of features. I've even built 2 different step ups on my trail, Stone Starlet. So with my newfound experience, this should be easy.
I can do it. I'll do it. I can do it.
After another hike to the top with a very patient Nick, we tried again.
Finally!
Like everything else in the Whistler Bike Park, it worked with surprising ease. I don't know why I was so scared before. But now that I was so comfortable on this trail, we ended up riding it all day since it was the best way to get to Lower A-Line. And speaking of A-Line, only that lower section was open. They were working on a brand new entrance, and the section below that was closed as well. But I did see some workers polishing it up. Could it open up later? I guess we'll see. At this point, the line for the lift had turned into the longest I'd ever seen it. And since masks were mandatory in the line, we took turns eating lunch outside of the line to maximize time. But the time spent in the line is a great place for chatting with friends and checking out the wide variety of bikes around us. And speaking of bikes, I'm riding my DV8 Highlander today. With its 150mm of suspension travel, it's been great to have a little extra squish for the bike park. The eagle-eyed among you may have noticed that I'm not running Magura brakes anymore. I swapped them out for my old Shimano XTR brakes. The reason I did this basically comes down to power, or the lack thereof. When testing them out on a big steep slab in Squamish, I couldn't actually slow down with the performance pads. With the race pads, things were improved, but there still wasn't quite enough power.
Definitely better.
But I couldn't actually stop on the slab like Antoine could with his Shimanos. But enough nerdy talk about brakes. Let's get back to my failures. Dwayne Johnson is named for the rock drop in the middle of the trail. But that's not really the problem here. It's the massive step up before it that scares me. Last year, I decided last second that it was a bad idea. Brake checked and fell over the lip.
I didn't do it!
This year I was a little more responsible and decided against it in a safer way. I just wasn't in the right headspace to hit it. But I was good to go on the rock drop. And the smaller step up after it. It's been great to have Nick to tow me into all this gnarly stuff though. He's a chill, patient dude and a pretty amazing rider, especially for only having ridden mountain bikes for 3 years. But it's his BMX experience before that has gotten him to where he is today. With a few more laps under our belts and the lines growing, we decided to call it a day. But the next day, the lines disappeared. It was time to ride as many laps as our bodies could take. Riding takes a toll on your body and mind, and mistakes start to creep in.
Okay. Oh, okay. Almost straight into that rock. Okay.
We were about ready to call it a day when we decided to go up for one more lap. Remember those guys polishing up A-line the day before? Well, I guess they had completed their work, and the trail was now open. We had to go hit it. A lot of bike parks around the world, and a lot of them are fantastic. But Whistler still takes the cake. Everything is built so well. It's the perfect place to progress your riding and get big air. And A-Line? It still has to be the best jump trail I've ever ridden. But right now, most of you watching can't even come to visit. So, hopefully the border will open up soon, and all you non-Canadians can come join the fun up here in BC. But until then, thanks for watching and stay gnarly.